During the third millennia, in a strange place known as the United States of America, a war was brewing. Brainwashed Marxist idiots in colleges across the nation clashed with equally brainwashed, anime-obsessed neo-Nazis. Starbucks windows were shattered, Dodge Challengers were totaled, and Muslims realized that rental vans were cheaper than plane tickets. Skinny, anemic millennials from coast to coast were hospitalized with life-changing injuries such as sprains and first-degree burns. And the heroic knights of 4chan rose up to defeat Shia LaBeouf and drive the evil villain into a descent towards a madness the likes from which he would never recover. As the enemies of freedom destroy the cities that raised them, as America begins to resemble an Iron Maiden album come to life, two heroes have risen up to fight against the culture of utter madness and restore sanity the only way they know how, by refusing to take any of it seriously. Mersh.
And I said, hey, oi, let's chop your penis off. Oi, can I have me penis back? Why do you have dreadlocks, you white oppressor?
Royce Lopez.
Always be aborting. A always be aborting. Always be aborting.
Breaking news.
Breaking news, guys.
You're hearing it only on our show first. Apparently Donald Trump has worked out a deal. He will get the wall. Unfortunately, it's going to be a rock climbing wall.
Oh, no! The other side's going to be a slide. You climb the wall up and you just
lands into a nice, clean, chlorinated pool. And then you immediately get a welfare check. Fucking A.
Oh, shit. He was a boy, he went to girl, now he wants to be a boy again.
Oh, God, just stay a girl if you're going to be this indecisive.
I think Caitlyn Jenner's a handsome woman with a great penis. Look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with trannies. I just don't want to put that one's cock in my mouth.
Bound forever by their mutual love of smoking marijuana, Simpsons references and affection towards Alex Jones, these two men have joined forces to bring you uncut news and opinions directly from the belly of the beast. Saving Western civilization one childish dick joke at a time, here they are, your new heroes of the Imperium, Mersh and Royce Lopez.
Folks, live. There we go. Folks, live from the middle of Boomer Country. That's right, Central Florida. It's Revenge of the Sis back from our weekend, ready to kick off the week with you. Of course, your favorite pair right here, Royce Lopez with me. Hi. I don't have a nickname for you because I was trying to think of nicknames. Usually I write the intro ahead of time. We had a lot going on today, but I was going to call myself the Irish Doxer. Get it? Because
I got it.
Boxer.
I like it.
I was trying to come up with, like a spickier one for you, but I couldn't think of one in time because we got distracted because, folks, there is weirdness afoot, folks, right here live on Twitter. There's something weird going on with our Twitter right now. I don't know what it is. I believe we received a DM from our guest that we're supposed to get today.
But then the DM just deleted.
DM disappeared.
I got it. It just popped back up. Okay, well, hopefully we'll get that set before.
There we go. Maybe the dumpster fire that is Twitter is really starting to catch hold.
Yeah.
They are in a tailspin right now.
It's really bad.
And we've been kicking around. Just a little idea. I get these wacky ideas sometimes, but Royce and I are talking about a little idea that we're not ready to incubate yet or put out in the open. But we might have a way for all of us together to fuck over Twitter because we're shadow banned, as you know.
That is correct.
Many of our alts are shadow banned. Many of our original accounts. I know you folks may not realize this, but Royce and I didn't hibernate in a cave until August of last year and then decided to do a podcast.
Correct.
We've done things before. We've had our own careers. All of those accounts are shadow banned now. Our new ROTC account is shadow banned. Our alt accounts, my new alt account, Identity Bagora, which I think is going to take off. The potato N-word ethno state is coming. That one right now is questionable. Sometimes it looks like it is, sometimes it's not. But anyway, weirdness afoot, DMs disappearing. which after the recent Project Veritas video, I find disconcerting. Like maybe somebody's clicking around in there.
Yeah, it's been, is it me or have the news cycles become shorter and shorter? You know what I mean? Like, everything is happening so fucking fast.
What are you talking about? What Vegas shooting?
That's actually official
Uranium
statement.
1, what are you talking about? It's over, done with. What emails?
It's not
Benghazi, what?
It's not over. That was something that's.
But
okay.
I mean, so what? We had that school shooting just now in Kentucky that you probably already forgot about.
I did. I'm not going to lie to you. I had already forgotten.
Or the other school shooting before the Vegas shooting.
Right.
Or the San Bernardino shooting. Or the truck riding over all those people in Manhattan. What are you talking about, news moving too fast?
It's a little too fast. Maybe we don't need to report things like, does Donald Trump tweet from the bathroom? They wrote that article today.
Can we do this very quickly?
Yes.
Yes. Next question.
Okay, that's it. All right. There you go, Gizmodo. We did
in
one sentence what it took you 12 paragraphs to write.
Meanwhile, if he said he didn't tweet while he was taking a dump, you guys would be complaining that, oh, well, why is the president not doing, managing his time better? He should tweet when he's taking a dump.
Yep.
Or a number one. You're never satisfied, are you? It's like dating a fucking Israeli girl from Miami.
That's really specific, Mike.
Named Lisa.
That's way too specific, Mike.
That's the media. Just wants to fuck all the time, but is never happy about anything.
I've never been more scared of any of the women you've been with than her. She scared me.
Yeah, she was.
She would look. She had a 1,000-yard stare, and she scared me.
She's not a happy person.
No, she was not.
Never.
But the breaking news before the show was Andy McCabe is stepping down from the female body inspectors.
We calling him Andy now?
Yeah.
Old Andy McCabe.
Old Andy McCabe.
Because honestly, Andrew McCabe sounds like an FBI director. Andy McCabe sounds like a pitcher back when white guys used to play baseball.
On the Phillies, probably, if I had to guess the team.
Let me tell you something, bro. I will house you on knowledge right now. Andy McCabe, he's not, if not the third best pitcher in the history of the major leagues for white guys.
There's always Major League for white guys. By the way, the baseball wasn't even good until there was black people. Sorry to break it to you guys.
Yeah, Babe Ruth wasn't a fucking legendary hitter.
No.
White guys were terrible on the defense.
Yeah, really bad. When the first baseman used to weigh 300 pounds.
Yeah, I don't think Babe Ruth would be able to stack up in today's baseball.
No, he wouldn't. He would die.
Could you imagine if he did, though? What if he just had some supernatural power and this fat, booze, stinky drunk just shows up, eats a hot dog on the way to the mound.
Don't forget cocaine using, cigar smoking also.
Well, coke probably helps if you're playing baseball.
Yeah, it has to help.
I guarantee you if you did, and I'd be willing...
Artie must be really good at baseball.
If you guys want to crowdfund this, I'm willing to be your guinea pig. I say we film this, right? If you guys want to chip in on GoFundMe, we'll find a local ballpark around here. You guys, we have the cameras and everything. You just have to pay for the cocaine. So what we do is we'll have Royce. You played Little League, right?
Yeah, I played second base.
You could do basic pitching, right?
Yes.
Throwing a ball. So we'll have Royce be the pitcher. I'll try to bat not high on cocaine. And then I'll have like a couple shots at JMO, do a couple of rails, and just give me a little bit, you know what I mean? Work my way up, have a cigarette, then let me try to same amount of pitches. And I guarantee you, my word, I will probably bat better on cocaine with a couple of shots in me.
Well, to be fair, you probably do everything better with a little bit of cocaine in you, right?
Not drive, am I right?
That's not true. You drive pretty well on cocaine.
Yeah, except for that one time.
Okay, one time. One time they get you.
The lady's like, Jesus, this guy stinks. I wasn't even arrested for being drunk. I was arrested because that lady who was at the gas station was like, Jesus, he is fucking stinking like booze and weed.
So, but that was in the past when you were degenerate. Now you've changed. You've seen the error of your ways. No, we haven't. They got away something clear real quick before I move on.
I haven't.
I wasn't.
Oh, you do.
No, because the thing is like, we're not ever purported to be some sort of moral authority. We're not. We're pieces of shit.
If somebody
100% saying it now so no one goes, you guys act all high and mighty. We're not high and mighty. We're pieces of shit, all right?
I don't spend my days getting high all the time and drinking all the time. Like, I actually am a productive person now.
Correct.
And I do a lot of good. That being said, if you had a Percocet right now, I'd eat it right now on the show.
He would. He absolutely would.
So
that is an ROTC fact.
But, it's like, look, man, I try to tell the kids, man, when I talk to them at the schools. But, no, I like to try
Do
to
you
tell
sit backwards in your chair?
Yeah, no, I try to be like, look, man, let's just rap. You know what I mean?
Oh,
you
stop
guys,
it.
we're
No.
gonna chill and talk.
No.
Because unlike your square ass parents, I'm cool. Now,
Hey, guess what? Guess what? I'm just like you guys. I wear my hat backwards.
Listen, I get it, man. When I was a kid, I smoked a doobie now and again.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
I had jazz cigarettes. Well,
I remember when I was a kid. See, my parents, when I was growing up, they caught me smoking, right? So then my dad brutally raped me.
Jesus Christ!
Now
I thought he was
see-
going to make you smoke a whole
Now
pack
see-
of cigarettes.
Now see the way of Christ. No. No, but when I do talk to our audience and I talk to younger people, I tend to tell them, look, file me under it's too late for me kind of thing. Like, I'm always going to be mildly a wreck. But,
And mildly erect.
and I try not to be hypocritical about it, but I do try to encourage people younger than me not to waste too much of their lives chasing shit that, doesn't matter and will not fulfill you in the long term. That being said, if you had a Percocet, I'd take one.
Yeah, I don't want to get. My problem is what I see with a lot of what's happening is people get pigeonholed into like, okay, so you're supposed to. No. We're a comedy show that leans, well, not leans. It's full-fledged right. That's what we are. That's it. We're not a moral authority. We're not trying to change the world, man. There's plenty of people that do that, and that's awesome. I'm glad they are because we're not the guys to do that. We're not going to go out there and change the world. That's not the goal. Our goal is to give some sort of comedic relief with a conservative spin because there's way too much left stuff out there that does that already, which leads us into our next story. Hey, Mike, are you ready for Showtime's new cartoon? Because I know you like Showtime.
Who doesn't love Showtime? And hey, I'll do you one better. Who doesn't love cartoons?
I love cartoons.
I bet this is good.
So, from executive producer Stephen Colbert,
Ooh, wow, 2007 me is excited.
our cartoon president. And you want to just play the trailer? We'll just play the trailer.
Yeah, let's
no
check this
comments.
out.
Let's give it a fair shot.
No, listen, let's give it a fair shot.
Okay.
In a time of civil and political unrest, one man works tirelessly to defend the American dream.
Fake news. Fake news. Fake weather.
This February, meet our cartoon president.
And then Ohio came in, and I was like, wow. And then they called Wisconsin, and Hillary called me to concede, and it was official. I had won the presidency. Do you want to hear it again?
Watch him grapple with difficult decisions.
Wartime, baby! Give me that nuclear football! Yeah!
Feel the romance.
Why are you looking at me? There's a TV in the room.
Meet the president's most trusted advisors.
Remember when everyone said you were the dumbest person in the world? Then we showed up on TV and they were like, we spoke too soon?
We could be your new spokesman.
His closest allies.
Woo 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 woo.
Oh, looking at me like I'm crazy. I didn't start the woo-woos, did I?
His most formidable foes.
Just know you can't soften me up with a bunch of New York talk.
Of course not, Mr. President. We're not going to talk about New York.
What about it?
Empire State Building.
Hudson River.
Pizza. Train track. Central Park.
5.
And Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz.
Don't miss the highest rated show of all time.
I love you, Dad!
I love me too!
From executive producer Stephen Colbert, our cartoon president.
With a show that funny, who needs affordable health care?
Not me.
I'm just glad Showtime's getting out of the smut business.
No, you know what? Let it sit. Don't even, you know what I mean? Like, we're not going to shit on this. Let it sit. Let the hit Showtime cartoon produced by Mr. Number 2 in the late night or number 1, I don't know. They have 2,100 Twitter followers today, as of today.
We've seen some really bad things on this show, right? Like, we've seen some things that have literally left us speechless.
Yeah, I've literally seen the Chip Chipperson cartoon.
Well, you're an idiot. That's on you. But look, let me try this. I'm trying to look at it as unbiased as possible. I'm really trying to look at it, and I'm trying to judge it on comedy content alone. Obviously, we like Trump, so oh, no.
Skewed, a little skewed.
Yeah, but we will laugh, and Mike's pointed it out because he got shit for making fun of Scott Baio. We will laugh at things that are funny, even if they go against our thing. I don't care. We watched Dave Chappelle's new stand-up special. There's a lot of stuff he said that went against. But if you're funny, you're funny. Yeah. That's our rule. If you're funny, you're funny.
As Royce pointed out, I had a conservative one of somebody who listens to our show sometimes on Facebook yell at me because I made a joke about a guy named Chachi finger popping a 14-year-old. Okay? Fuck you. It's relevant and funny. And it was I made a Bob Loblaw reference.
Which was great.
And I was told I was punching right. And why would you mess with one of your own? Because it's funny. There are things about Trump that people do that are funny.
Yes, there's ways to. But this, look, the full episode.
Dude, South Park, best example. They are blatantly doing Trump without doing Trump. And it's awesome.
And it's hilarious. Objectively, it's funny.
Because Donald Trump and Mr. Garrison has slowly over the years sort of evolved into Donald Trump.
He has.
So it was a perfect fit. But I mean, we play the rejoiner about the, oh yeah, what do you have to say about that faggot?
Hey, caller, who's this?
Dave Martell.
Hey, what's up, Dave?
Oh shit, what up, dog?
What's happening, brother? How you doing? How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Cool. Yo, Merce, I like the beard.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, I'm trying to chat it up a little bit more. I'm gonna see if the
Starting to look a little rugged over there.
I'm gonna try to see if y'all pagans will accept me. Not the biker gang, the religion.
The religion, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, either one.
So I just saw that disgusting, heaving piece of dog shit that fucking stay-at-home mom-looking fucking lesbian librarian-looking fucking Stephen Colbert has out there on fucking. I'm trying not to say anything that's going to get you guys zucked, so.
No, say what you want.
I apologize if I'm reaching for vernacular, but this is just like that is just the shining example of the left. They don't have any sort of actual intellectual input into society. Who are look at like the right or the alt-right or the new right or whatever. Who do we go to for commentary? We go to guys that are, articulate and well-spoken, academics, really creative, smart people. Who do they go to? Chelsea Handler, fat pig, Lena Dunham, fat pig, metrosexual, Stephen Colbert, like all these retards and homos and degenerates and douchebags. It's just a shining example of critical theory and just overall commie cancer. They have to make fun of everything and trivialize it because they don't have any arguments because they're retards and low IQ, low agency genetic tragedies. They're human garbage.
Well, look, to be fair too, and we're not even picking that side of it apart. What this boils down to, because we don't claim to be very highbrow or, we're not on this show talking about AI and the fucking we're not that brilliant on this show either. Our problem with this is how genuinely lacking in any sense of humor or
self-awareness
or funniness, like just from funny guys looking at this supposedly funny show, it's not only their lack of intellect, but there's a real lack of, remember when the left was funny and the right was stupid and terrible? Remember John?
I haven't been alive that long.
Remember Jon Stewart? Jon Stewart with his hip leather jacket, man, talking to the camera. But he was funny at least. He was funny. This isn't funny. This is I would, if my name were Stephen Colbert, I would be making phone calls right now telling them to put it, what's the fucking Alan Smithy? I'd be like, tell them it's an Alan Smithy production because I want my name nowhere near this. This is so not funny.
And that's another, our guys are funny. Like, if you look at, like, there's a reason that the left can't meme because they're not creative. They're bug men. They're just kind of like, they're like the well-behaved party members in 1984. They're too scared to say anything outside of the box. And you guys know, like, Merce, you're a comedian. You guys are funny guys. In order to be funny, you got to be a little bit dark. You got to break the rules. You got to shock some people. That's what's funny. Like, these guys, they can't be funny because they can't go outside the box, first of all, or they cannibalize each other and destroy each other's career with, fake rape accusations, or they just can't. They don't have the capacity. They just aren't funny.
I think that some of them can be funny. Here's my problem. I think that even Stephen Colbert, deep down in his soul, he has the ability to produce a punchline that would make me laugh. The problem is they've created this artificial set of ridiculous standards and rules, so they have to self-censor all the time, unless it fits an anti-Trump narrative, an anti-right narrative, an all-inclusive, diversity is our strength narrative, whatever the case may be. I guarantee you these guys are still thinking of jokes, but they go, oh, that one's too homophobic. Oh, this one's too, you can't do it. And the right took back the idea of, like, I don't give a fuck.
And Dave,
This
I
is
agree.
funny.
Dave, I agree with you that it's very everything is paint by numbers with them. It's the same 10 Trump jokes recycled in a different way and delivered differently.
He's orange. I get it now.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same jokes that they're pulling from, and the originality isn't there anymore. It's just like, oh, okay, Colbert said this on his late night show. Let's everybody do the same thing. Or John Oliver said that. Let's just use that meme. No one is actually coming out and saying anything differently. And it's like, in trying to be this fucking resistance, nobody sticks out in the crowd. Everyone's just the same, bland and the same.
Yeah, they're completely vanilla, and their jokes are vanilla. Their content is vanilla. I've like snuck into like leftist circle jerks, like little echo chambers. Not real circle jerks. That would be gross. To be honest, like I would never want to go. Like I feel bad after just like having just like a solo jerk. I get like a wave of depression. I feel like a piece of shit. So it's like the last thing I want to do is go into like a multi jerk where there's like several jerks going on. That's because I hate dicks. I hate jerking off, even myself. So I'm not actually going to a real circle jerk. I just wanted to clear that up.
You're not going to any of Podesta birthday parties then? I'm assuming.
No, I'm not going to any pizza parties.
Okay, just checking.
It's it's still a good.
But I go into these like I sneak into and infiltrate leftist forum boards and Facebook groups and stuff with alt accounts just to see what they got going on, and I go look at their timelines and just see what they're saying. None of them, not a single one of them, even the more moderate leftists, none of them have any good memes. None of them have any podcasters or live streams. Like you guys know, over here on the right, podcasting, it's like a fucking sea of competition. It's like everybody is podcasting or doing live streams, and everybody's pretty good. Like not everybody's brilliant, but even like the lowest level of right-wing podcaster has some good talking points. They have nobody. There's no cult of personality. There's nothing original. It's all vanilla and fucking tight ass. They're not only like they're worse than the new church ladies. They're worse because at least the church ladies could like make you a pie or something. These guys, these bitches can't cook or nothing. Like they're just like completely useless.
And I wouldn't want any of those fucking super liberal bitches touching my food anyway. They look fucking gross.
And that's not true, dude. I know girls on the left that could eat a whole bar as Annex and drive to the store for you. Some of them have Now you have a new show, Goy Fellas.
I love the name, by the way.
You are
Thank you.
And you're on TRC now. What's up with that, dog?
I'm just because I got my baby son is going to be here any day now. I don't have the time to put in like a whole visual presentation. So Tony from TRC reached out to me. He's like, hey, you want to just like do a show with me? Just all audio and stuff like that. He's like, I'll promote it. I'll take care of it. All you got to do is call in and we'll talk shit. I was like, all right. I got to do something. So I started helping out and kind of doing the show with him. He takes care of all the business. He does all the smart people stuff. I just run my mouth. So it's just what I'm doing for now. I'm going to keep doing it because I like it, but it just kind of worked out with my schedule and everything. So what do you guys think about Goyfellas so far?
I've checked out 2 episodes. I like it. I like your guys'. I thought you guys had done radio together before, frankly.
Yeah, it was very natural. It didn't sound forced.
Yeah, because you guys click pretty well. And I just was. I remember being befuddled. I was like, oh man, he's on TRC now. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a bad. At least it has a fan base. So you guys aren't. Because I know what it's like when you start a new show with a new partner or something, and like you're just talking to nobody for a little while until it builds up. But at least you guys went on a channel that has subs, people checking it out. But you guys actually, one of the things I like too is that I'm actually getting your show sent to me by people who don't know that I know you, which is cool. Like that's always a good sign for your show.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, like it's a good sign for your show when people don't know I know you and are like, hey, check this show out. And I'm like, yeah, I know that nigga. This is my boy Martel. But yeah, you guys are definitely a little more deep than we are on this show. They're a little more
we're more dick jokish.
Hey, we got some dick jokes. We wanted to keep, because I'm like you guys. I'm not really an academic, affluent, I'm not a big brain. I'm just a fucking, I like jokes. I like to make things humorous and satirical and put it in a format that's easy to swallow for people. Because there's a lot of podcasters and stuff, they're fucking monotone and they just like kind of like recite. And you feel like you're just like reading a book, like you're just reading a fucking, just like a heaving tome from some fucking obscure economist. I don't want it to feel like that. I want it to feel like it's fun, like people, like they're hanging out with their boys. And because I speak in common tongue, I don't like to sound all pretentious and gay. Like that's not me. I'm like you guys.
So I'm curious, since you're over at TRC, you might have some the Revolutionary Conservative, for those of you guys not in the know. Definitely subscribe to them on YouTube, or you could just go to our YouTube channel. You guys are in our little featured channels that I put off to the side for people to check out, and we actually mention you in our new commercial too. So we've been tossing you guys some love. But I want to ask, since you're more on the inside than we are, what's up with Invictus? Is he like out in the desert growing a beard, like fucking strangling coyotes, or like what's going on right now?
I haven't talked to Augustus in a while. We're not out on the outs or anything. It's just our schedules haven't been lining up. I haven't really heard from him. But I check out. He does a podcast with Rich Heathen over at Liberty Machine News called the Spengler Chronicles, like once a week.
Oh, cool.
So he's still around. I think he said that he's quitting technology or something like that. I'm not sure what he's doing. I think he'll be back. Like I think he's just like gotten overwhelmed with social media cancer.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is, and I think he probably just needed a break. So he'll probably be back.
I think that tends to be the one thing I share with that guy that I actually like, which is why some people will be like, "Yeah, man, he's nuts. Are you really cool with him?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we both share the same occasional overwhelming contempt for the entirety of mankind."
Yep.
And I understand that, which is why every time he's like, "I'm done," I'm like, "I get it, bro. He'll take a couple weeks off because you just go, you know what? I'm flipping my laptop shut and I'm done." These people are fucking all the people on their side, the people on my team. I fucking hate everybody. Slam the laptop down. You take a couple days. Go cool out a little bit. I don't know how you go at the pace you go, brother.
Man, I don't even really. I feel like I'm losing momentum because I just don't got time. I got a full-time wage cuck job. I got a wife that's about to pop. I got a 3-year-old. I got a business at home. I got a lot of shit going on. So I do the best that I can with making content for everybody and keeping everybody entertained and informed. So I do my best.
Well, thanks for calling in, man. We really appreciate it.
Where can they check you out? I want to make sure that he plugs. He may not want to just plug. Obviously,
plug away, my friend.
On Twitter. I mean, on YouTube.
Well, I'm Dave Martell. You can follow me on Twitter at Big Dave Martell with one L. You can also find me on my website at my outlet at MadAmericanNetwork.com, Facebook.com/MadAmericanNetwork. You can also check out my, as Dave mentioned before, the Revolutionary Conservative podcast, which is The Goyfellas with me and my fellow paisan Tony Canzoneri. And we talk about all kinds of crazy shit, both two fucking, alt-right paisans. We talk about, race and religion and news and
So basically,
dick jokes and just anything that comes up in my mother's beautiful, wonderful meatballs. So you go check that out on YouTube. The Revolutionary Conservative. Subscribe, Mad American Network. Don't forget to subscribe to these guys. If you don't, I will come to your house, I will eat your food, I will drink your drinks, and I will lay pipe on your wife and put a baby in her womb. You will be my midwife and take care of my child once I leave to impregnate the rest of the female members of your family line. Don't think I won't.
I love that. Thank you so much.
somebody really wants to be in our new intro.
Yeah.
apparently. That's good because I actually need
I'm
audio
gonna
to
get
come.
going here, but
Thank you,
take
man.
care. God bless
Later.
you guys.
Dave Martell at Big Dave Martell with 1 L on Twitter.
Oh man, I was surprised. Didn't expect him to call.
Yeah, he's a good pal.
Well, we have a
we
little
got to
bit.
get him on next week. I
in
we need
River.
to get him on.
Sorry about that. Did you want? I would like to watch this again if you don't mind.
Do we have to?
Or
I feel like we got through it.
okay, we
I don't
have
know.
to-
We didn't let the chat room vote on it, but
How about this? Here's what we're gonna do.
it's so bad.
While the chat room votes, we're gonna play some uplifting message.
Oh, I bet this will be far less.
Yeah.
cringe.
Hillary Clinton.
This will be far less uncomfortable.
Hillary Rodham Clinton. Let's just play it.
Sure.
By the way, she's totally not drunk. Okay? She's totally sober. Got it?
What is this? What is she asleep in this video? What is she? 12?
She a baby?
She get a time machine? Yeah, that's right. What's happening now?
I don't know. Hi, caller. Who's this?
Hello?
Yeah, who's this?
Oh, wait, wrong number. Sorry, I have the wrong number. I'm sorry.
Wait, no, but now we're
Yeah,
intrigued.
he
What's
hung
going
up.
on?
He hung up.
Son of a bitch.
All right.
You son of a bitch!
Hey everyone, I just wanted to say thanks. Thanks for your feminism, for your activism, and all I can hope is you keep up the really important good work.
Can you say the name of the activist bitches supporting bitches?
And let me just say, this is directed to the activist bitches supporting bitches.
Okay, remember earlier when I said the cringiest thing I ever saw was that cartoon trailer? Remember like a little bit ago when I said that? Do you remember?
Is this our new thing? Douche chill Mondays?
I
where we just give ourselves douche chills all week or all day rather. We kick off the week awkward.
Are you not an activist bitch supporting
First of
bitches?
all, I don't like the fact that this bitch has to hold her own fake teeth in her fucking dumb face as she talks. My head of hair.
By the way, every time we talk about Hillary, we go, she's not president. Yeah, we know, but we're going to keep making fun of her like she was because that's what Seth Rich would do.
Yeah. By the way, your hair is thinning. You have a Saul Goodman haircut.
Oh my God, she does.
Except I would sooner trust Saul Goodman as president of the United States.
Saul Goodman has hid less bodies.
He's also a man. Her fucking look at her in her Imperial Senator fucking jumpsuit. She dresses like she's part of the fucking Intergalactic Senate.
Oh fuck.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to say thanks. Thanks for your feminism, for your activism, and all I can hope is you keep up the really important good work.
Can you say the name of the activist bitches supporting bitches?
And let me just say, this is directed to the activist bitches supporting bitches. So let's go.
And Madam Secretary, can you also say shout out to all my boss bitches, wife and niggas?
Jesus.
And Mrs.
First
Former
off-
Secretary, could you also say Meek Mill ain't shit and he's a punk ass bitch?
Why is she dressed like a red shirt from Star Trek? She's wearing a Starfleet outfit and it's bothering me.
I feel like she's wrapped like a fragile antique piece of furniture that you would be moving into a new house. Like if you had a priceless crystal chandelier that was an antique and you were moving it into your new home, you would wrap it in Hillary's pantsuit so that if you dropped it on the stairs and it rolled down, it wouldn't break. It looks like her pantsuit is stuffed with the styrofoam peanuts, like packaging peanuts.
She looks like a defective Precious Moments doll.
This hoe looks like she's wrapped in bubble wrap. I hate her so much.
Oh, fuck. Her suit actually says this side up on the back of it.
It's fucking. So, what did Justin Bieber haircut have?
Stop
to say?
it. Andy Dick has aged gracefully.
I thought it was Andy Richter.
I'm Emmett.
Andy Richter. Holy fuck.
Oh, man.
God damn, she
You
looks
really are.
fucking
Hillary,
bad.
you really are a goddamn mess. You know what it is, man? It's like you fucking hate somebody so much. Like, she's the closest thing, right, that we have as the true manifestation of Satan in flesh and blood on this planet. And yet, she has fallen so far that even I feel bad for her now.
Yeah, it's...
Holy shit. Hillary, get a grip on yourself. Stop it. Get some help.
I personally think she's doing great. I think that she's really brave.
I just don't like the fact that she literally has the same hairline as Bob Odenkirk.
You're right. She does. I'm not playing it again because it's making me feel uncomfortable.
She looks like something you would shoot at in Doom. Like the old... She looks terribly rendered.
You're right. She looks like back in the day when you used to download photos and they have to do a couple passes for them to go through. You're right.
She looks like a cutscene in a game that you're playing on a computer that's 400 megahertz processor. She looks like a Duke Nukem cutscene.
She looks like a GoldenEye bad guy. That's what she looks like. You polygon face bitch.
Cover that, angry video game nerd.
Jesus Christ. She really does, though.
Angry video game nerd has to come out with a statement tomorrow. No, I don't want to get murdered.
Please don't kill me.
I just do video games, man.
Leave me alone, dude.
Oh,
she really does look like the animatronic Trump in Disney World.
Dude, I'm telling you, the day I saw it, I'm like, oh, okay, so they really jumped the gun on designing the Hillary one.
Holy fuck. All right. That's you can't.
Fucking the day that fucking $600,000 Hillary animatronic arrived, and they were like, I don't know, throw a fucking MAGA hat on it or something.
She looks like a CGI character they added to a re-release of one of the original Star Wars.
I don't remember her in the original canteen scene. Hillary shot first.
No, Hillary shot everybody.
They had to edit it out because in the first one, Vince Foster shot first. You murder people, stupid.
Jesus. Allegedly.
No.
Allegedly.
She murders people. Allegedly. She murders. Look, if fucking Alex Jones got away with saying Sandy Hook was a hoax and he's still selling his dumb fucking pills, I could say that woman is a murderer.
Allegedly. All right. Enough. We're going to go ahead and move over.
I just hate that woman. Like, right. There are very few people that I hate enough that I want to actually, I fantasize about punching them and watching their jowls jiggle. But man, Hillary's one of them.
Soundwave in the chat says, would we watch a lesbian porn with Huma in it? Wiener's wife.
I would watch it to spite them because they're being exploited.
Would you come, though?
No.
Probably not, right?
I'd have to. I mean, I would come, but I'd have to switch to something else.
Yeah,
come.
Right. Maybe a Ruth Bader Ginsburg porn.
Yeah, or like something, I don't know, like the Jennifer Lawrence porno, something like that.
Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin now though, or when she was with McCain?
No, McCain. Sarah Palin, not now.
Yeah. At the time, totally. I would have fucking
not Walmart greeter Sarah Palin, not that one now.
Yeah, I would have let her have my little retard baby. Well, there goes the 3 boomers that were left listening to this.
Sorry. We apologize.
We always
come now they can't call us boomers anymore.
Yeah, they come out of the gate strong on Mondays, don't they?
Oh, God. Indians removing Chief Wahoo logo from uniforms.
Oh, good. Fucking social justice has finally been fucking
achieved.
Yeah, we're good now. Everything's fixed, folks.
From ABC News, divisive and hotly debated, the Chief Wahoo logo is being removed from the Cleveland Indians uniform next year. The it's not polarizing, mascot is coming off the team's jersey shelves and caps starting in 2019. A move that will end the Chief Wahoo's presence on the field, but may not completely silence those who deem it racist. Yeah, because they're never happy.
So what the fuck is their new mascot going to be? A river on fire?
Smallpox.
Seasonal depression.
Genetic alcoholism.
brown sites.
Duty-free cigarettes.
Lake effect snow. What a fucking shithole.
Andrew Jackson holding up 2 thumbs.
Well, what if it's just Moses Cleveland rolling in his grave? You stink, Cleveland.
Fucking suck. Your best baseball player was Charlie Sheen.
No, Tom Berenger.
All right, fair.
Was probably more of a franchise guy. We caught the story on the tail end, on the sunset of his career, if you will.
The Associated Press was informed of the decision before an official announcement was planned Monday by Major League Baseball. After a lengthy discussion between the team owners, Paul Dolan, and the MLB commissioner, Rob Manfred.
Why would fucking Corbin Burnson greenlight a decision like this?
Don't you remember the owners trying to sell the team to Florida? If I remember the plot of the documentary Major League and Major League 2.
No, but that's what I mean. In the second one, then Corbin Burnson buys it. I always just assumed since then that Corbin Burnson was the owner of the Cleveland Indians. Is that not a true fact?
I think you're confusing documentaries with real movies.
With doxing people? They're doxing people.
Are they, though? Right. They're not.
It's not doxing. It's just a link to Corbin Burnson's Wikipedia page.
No.
You know, Corbin Burnson was in L.A. law once. Stop doxing Corbin Burnson. I did. I have cable.
No word yet on what Pedro Serrano thinks. I don't know. No one's asked him.
Well, you know, he's just going to ask Jobu.
Yeah, you're
cut
right.
out the middleman.
Mm-hmm. Under growing pressure to eliminate Chief Wahoo, the club has been transitioning away from the logo in recent years. The Indians introduced a Block C insignia on some of their caps and have removed signs with Wahoo logo. That's right. Get them on eBay now because they're going to be worth some money, folks. National criticism and scrutiny about...
I would understand if their team name was like the Cleveland Filthy Wagon Burners or fucking...
the Cleveland Prairie N-words.
Yeah, seriously. But this... Oh, God.
Chief Wahoo's even smiling.
Yeah, he looks happy.
He seems happy to be there. He doesn't look mad. What about the Braves? The Braves have to change their name? No, because there's the Tomahawk. That's fine, right?
Why does he look so cartoonishly Chinese, though?
Because back then...
Oh, Chief of Wahoo, he's so Chinese.
I'll explain. Back then, Warner Brothers had one cell thing, and they just reused it for all the racist characters.
For every single racist stereotype.
Yeah.
Oh, me a Native American. Oh, me like a pizza. I'm an Italian. A papati poopy. So good. Is everything fixed now? You got to take our statues away. Now you're taking our engines away. Are you happy now? When do you guys... I asked this about the Women's March. Now I'm going to ask all you know, non-whites. What do you want? Because at this point, it's almost like a hostage situation. What if we, and by we, I don't mean we because I'm not really rich people white, but what if us white people that aren't so rich, we'll talk to the white people that are rich, we'll ask them to build up a fund. We'll pay you guys one-time amount to shut your filthy pie holes.
Would that work?
Could you do that? Everybody gets $5,000. Stop tearing statues down and changing my sports teams.
This just in, Willie Mays Hayes is for it.
Because
but the Omar X Willie Mays Hayes.
I hope Vince McMahon names his Cleveland franchise the Indians to spite
more than that. No, I want it to be worse, like you said earlier. I want it to be worse than the Indians. I want it to be just one of the most horrific. What's the worst name? What's the most racist name?
I'm gonna call them the Cleveland Filthy Drunken Savages.
I like that. The Cleveland Savages. What do we think?
I'm gonna call them. Well, we gotta modernize it. How about the Cleveland Casino Monkeys? Yeah, I like it.
Casino Monkeys is now my favorite word.
Casino Monkeys. You heard it here first, folks. That I invented that.
He did. That's him.
That is the new slur for Native Americans.
Casino monkey.
Get out of here, you fucking casino monkey.
You made me scalp you for this?
It's one thing to come out. It's one thing to parrot the same boring alt-right horse shit But it's another thing to come up with your own racial slurs. It's more rewarding.
Oh, fuck, that was fun. God damn.
Casino Monkeys
is
it's
amazing.
my new favorite.
I want to talk about my old alma mater, Broward Community College in South Florida. That's where I went to. I doxed myself. Fuck.
Now you're doxed, bro.
Fuck me.
You know how serious that is?
Damn it.
You're so doxed.
Fuck.
They're
I went to
dox you.
Broward Community College.
They're gonna get a copy of your permanent record.
Yeah. I went there with another 1,000 Lopez's, by the way. Professor uses American flag as doormat in college art display.
You're gonna find out you were late to class one day because they debuted Taco Bell breakfast.
Well, fuck that. It's Taco Bell breakfast. I'm hungry.
They're doxing people.
Are they?
Give me money for my birthday.
Students and community members at Broward College, BC. By the way, taking screenshots of an open Discord isn't really being a fucking detective. Students and community members.
We're on the case. We took the train into Discord.
Students and community members of Broward College are outraged after American flag was used as a doormat by a professor during an art exhibit hosted by the school. So it appears this is okay to do at Central Campus, which is the one I went to, of Broward College. It's called Broward College now because now they offer a 4-year degree. It's still the same shitty school.
Yeah,
The BCC Seahawks.
It's as good as a regular college's 2-year degree, but it's 4 years.
The BCC Seahawks. This is an American flag painted white and cut in half, used as a doormat at a BC. So they basically bleached the American flag and the gold.
I wish that BCC ceased to exist.
I'm not sure what messages they were trying to give, but there was a camera taking pictures of people unknowingly stepping on the flag. Catcher continued. The photos were taken by Catcher 2018, a full-time faculty exhibition on January 26th. An event on BC's website describes an eclectic show featuring paintings, drawings, and paint-making photography, ceramic sculptures, and multimedia installations.
No, they spelled autistic wrong.
Fair enough. Angel Kleiman, a spokesman for the Rosemary Duffy Larison Gallery, the location of the exhibition, identified the artist behind the display as BC Assistant Professor of Art Lisa Rockford. Shortly thereafter, Catcher took it upon himself to write a letter to BC President David Armstrong. I'm sorry to have to write this letter to you, but I am a student at Broward College Central Campus.
Sorry.
I know, seriously. It was bad. And I am when you would walk, real quick, when you would walk from class to class, it was basically just people freestyling and breakdancing, so you know what kind of college it was. Okay?
You remember the outside place they sold? Remember the Pit and the Wire with the orange couch?
Mm-hmm. That place was a dream compared to BC.
Fucking D'Angelo Barksdale went to school with them.
Fucking college, most of the classes took place in fucking trailers because they really portable trailers.
The school store where you bought your textbook had bulletproof glass.
I'm sorry to have to write this letter to you, but I'm a student at Broward College, and I'm disabled Marine Corps vet.
So I'm sorry for all the misspelled words.
Yeah, sorry for all the misspelled words. I got into BC. What did you have to do? Open the door? No, seriously, they let anybody in. So basically, they put the flag on the floor, this art installation, bleached it, and then they were filming people walking on it. I guess, I don't know what it's supposed to mean, but as you can see the picture there, it's clearly a bleached American flag.
BCCC, come in to use the bathroom, learn English at night.
The people that teach English here don't speak English. So you know what kind of school it is. All right, we got to shill because we got a guest. We got to shill because we got a guest.
We got a guest coming up. Second hour, we are going to be joined by yet another big get this year. We're going to be joined Vince from the Red Elephants. We don't even have to tell you who the Red Elephants are, but go subscribe on YouTube at Red Elephants.
As if
on
they need
Twitter.
our help.
But gotta get it out there.
I get it.
They, for those of you wondering where they've been content strike on YouTube.
So don't put them in your mouth.
We are going to talk about it coming up in the second hour. And of course, if you guys want to support the show, you can do so at paypal.me/ patreon.com/we're not sorry. If you want to do it one time. If you want to hook us up every month, couple bucks, have a couple lifts. It's patreon.com/we're not sorry. RevengeOfTheSys.com, up and running, cranking out articles.
Yep.
And we got merchandise too. I will post the link in the chat because it doesn't fucking work. The Teespring, you look for us. It's in there. You can't find us.
Go to RevengeOfTheSys.com, hit shop. It'll take you right to it. We'll be right back. Revenge of the Sys.
The most exciting 2 hours of television is back with an all-new Revenge of the Sys. As Royce and Mersch continue to track an international deep state pedophile ring, their journey to the nation's capital is put on hold as Orlando's best police cops receive a cryptic message from an old colleague.
It's a message from my old partner. He needs to see us in Los Angeles right now. Says it's related to our case.
Do you trust him?
As much as I trust you, partner.
What's to know then? A detour from their original investigation finds these no-nonsense detectives in the middle of Hollywood.
Thanks for meeting me. We can't talk long. They're probably following me.
Who's following you?
The Podesta brothers. They've got eyes everywhere, Lopez.
Now trapped between deep state globalists and the Hollywood elite, Lopez and Mersch are on the case. They're no longer avenging Orlando. They're saving America. And this week, they're taking on Pedowood.
I've been working this case. This Dan Schneider guy, producer at Nickelodeon, he's into kids. Or feet. Or kids' feet.
Yeah, the iCarly guy.
How do you know all this?
Thanks for meeting me.
No problem, Miss Bynes.
This is Amanda Bynes? Jesus, she looks terrible.
Dude, she can hear you.
Watch this week as the web grows bigger, the case becomes more complex, and more older model cars get wrecked and plenty of nameless extras get shot. This week on an all-new Revenge of the Sys, followed by Nazi Lawyer. USA, hotels don't have Netflix. Do you like pranks, guns, and jokes about retarded people? Well, so do we, but odds are your liberal snowflake friend doesn't. How would you like an easy, cost-effective way of screwing with that friend anonymously without losing your Twitter account? Guns for Tards is the perfect way to trigger an SJW anonymously through the mail. For a low fee, your target will receive a beautifully designed professional mailer from our fictional Guns for Tards charity, containing a thank you letter for their donation. They'll be led to believe that money was donated in their name to a charity that advocates Second Amendment rights for the mentally handicapped people in their area. For a few extra bucks, they will receive pictures and a detailed profile of a retarded person who they helped harm. It's all fun and games, well, except for that idiot who gets this in their mailbox and freaks out. Messing with someone through the mail is effective. Most people do it trolling over the internet, but regular mail is way more invasive. Whether it's a boss, an ex, or a liberal professor you don't like, this is the perfect way to screw with someone anonymously for the cost of a cup of coffee. Well, a cup of coffee in Manhattan, in a fancy coffee shop. Check out www.gunsfortards.com and select a package today. Use promo code MERSH for 10% off.
If you just put in the code ALEX10, and of course, that'll be 10% off from our very already low price of $250 for every 4 caps.
Hey folks, this is Jay Leno, the star of the hit film Collision Course, and I'd like to take a moment out there and talk to you about the very real dangers posed by Zionism in this country.
I was riding around on my motorcycle out there in the Arizona desert when I was kidnapped by a UFO and sexually assaulted by aliens.
Show me how you suck a guy's cock. The last time I'm gonna ask you.
From all of us here at Revenge of the Sis, we'd like to thank each and every one of our friends and fans for helping us become one of the fastest growing breakout shows on the internet. In less than 1 year, we have been able to bring you news before it breaks, as well as the funniest and most consistent political and social commentary around. Here are some ways you can help us continue to grow our brand. Sign up as a contributor by going to patreon.com/We're Not Sorry and pledging a monthly amount. Anyone who pledges $12 or more is eligible for occasional giveaways and prizes. And if you pledge $25 or more, we will promote your brand or product live on our show. We understand if you are unable to commit to a monthly recurring donation, but if you would like to contribute one time, you can do so by going to paypal.me/We're Not Sorry. Another unique way to help our show expand while also promoting your own brand or service is by modeling one of our shirts. Go to teespring.com, search for Revenge of the Sis, and you'll find plenty of options to choose from. Take a picture of you modeling our shirt and email it to revengeofthesis@gmail.com. That is revengeofthecis@gmail.com. Be sure to include a web address or a social media account for whatever you want us to promote, and we will feature you on an episode of our show. Since YouTube is now throttling our traffic and Twitter has us shadow banned, there are many other ways you can help without giving us a dime. Every time you invite a friend to like our Facebook page, retweet or share a meme from our social media accounts, or share one of our videos to your own pages, you are helping us to get discovered by more like-minded individuals who will join our ranks and help us grow. Rate us 5 stars on Facebook, Roku, and iTunes. Encourage others to follow @ROTC Media on Twitter. You can also help ROTC by supporting friends of our show, such as LA Werewolf, Connecting Right Radio, Radical Mothering, Folklore Americana, the Mad American Network, Wolfman's Activism and Entertainment, and the Revolutionary Conservative. Find all of these links and more by going to our brand new website, revengeofthesis.com.
Have an opinion you're too afraid to say on Facebook because you might get doxxed? Want CNN to stop knocking out your door asking for your opinion? Call the We're Not Sorry hotline, 407-630-9636. No threats. We will play it on the air. And you know what? Let's keep the racial undertones PG-13. That's 407-630-9636.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I understand that, faggot. And you should understand how my balls are going to taste when your country starts needing money. I don't give 2 shits about a treaty. You're a Polish midget. Come in. Uh-huh. Hey, hang on, I'm going to call you back. Yeah, go fuck yourself, retard. Mr. President, we have a problem. People are pretty upset. Oh, don't tell me people are still mad about that nigger thing. It's pronounced Niger, Mr. President, and it's a country in Africa. Oh, aren't we fancy? Okay, I don't want a bunch of Nigers in Africa aiding terrorists.
Mr. President, you need to be a little more careful. There's an investigation. A worker with ties to Russia was found raped and executed.
Raped and executed? Oh, you mean fucked to death? Oh, yeah, that was me. Mr. President, people are starting to question your oath to the office. My oath to the office was that I would fuck everyone to death, remember? You guys be quiet. And you guys just get out there and put a positive spin on this whole thing. How are we supposed to put a positive spin on it?
It's getting pretty hard to keep defending you. Maybe it's time we put our foot down.
Oh. Hope you brought some condoms.
Second hour, Revenge of the Sis. Thank you for staying with us. Coming at you from the B-side of a Monday show. We have a guest on board, Mike. You want to introduce him while I pop him on?
Yes, we do have a guest, another one of those quite larger than us guests, so we're very honored to have on the program. He is one of several members of the Red Elephants. They are, I will say this, one of the few people on, groups of people on YouTube that are politically slanted, that are actually activists, that actually do journalism and actually are involved in a lot of things. But we are joined right now by Vince from the Red Elephants, joining us right now. How are you, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you coming on, man. First of all, I'm going to get it out of the way right now.
I was going to say it. The shirt?
The shirt.
You guys have and I know this goes counter to fucking trying to sell our shirts, but you guys have the best shirts in the business. Oh yeah, we've talked about your shirts a couple times. You really do have the best looking shirts.
I have enviously had many conversations with Royce behind the scenes, where we're like, we need a good, like, you guys just have a good. It's just one of those things that you will wear where it's not like, hey, it's just got my website on it. It's just like low energy. Like, you guys actually have a
right.
It's just, I don't know, man. There's something about it where it really it's striking and it's just very cool.
Oh, so you're talking about the main logo shirt then?
Yeah, your logo in general is just a very well done, sharp logo. And
because in my opinion, we can do a lot better in the shop for sure, which we're trying to work on. But actually, before we get started here, we just all of our admins just got banned from the Facebook page for posting for 30 days.
What?
Because of a post 7 months ago. 7 months ago, we made a post about the shirt, the "Fuck Antifa" shirt. Can I say that word?
Yeah,
here?
of course. Yeah,
you're clear.
And so we posted that, and today we all received a notification that post was removed because it attacks someone's race or ethnicity.
What
ethnicity?
What ethnicity?
I didn't know commie was an ethnicity.
Or faggots. I mean, it 30 days on all your admins too, which means nobody could update it. Basically.
This is the first time I've ever heard about an incident where all of the admins are receiving a zuck for.
Never happened before.
No,
it's
because
always just the admin that posts it, right?
We've been popped before. Yeah, exactly. Like I've been hit, and Mike's been hit, but it's really, really odd that they just stop people altogether from updating your site.
Right, and one of our admins also got banned on his other page too for it. So it's on the redelephants.com. We wrote about it. It's completely ridiculous. We sent it to all of our friends at different media outlets. So we're gonna try and get the word out there because it's ridiculous. First of all, the thing it literally says attacking one's race or ethnicity, and it said "fuck Antifa." That's all it said. Nothing else.
Because they're stretching at this point. They're stretching to find a reason, and I agree because once you're on, I don't know, some shadow ban list, which has happened to us too. You are on it, and everybody in that IP I think is on it. Because they shadow banned our Twitter account where you can't see anything, but then my personal one, Mike's personal one, and they try to unperson you.
Right.
Well,
they try to deplatform you. Exactly.
And this isn't the only platform. Like, I mean, I'll come out and say it, even if you guys aren't going to say it. This is a coordinated attack right now.
Oh, yeah, it seems like it.
Because I know that you guys, and as I brought you up in the top of the hour, you guys actually do legitimately, like, there's a lot of merchant right people and there's a lot of just personalities, but you guys, anybody who takes a look at the Red Elephants channel on YouTube, it's journalism, and there are projects, and they're high production value projects, and they have a message behind them. And you guys, I know we got into it a little bit on the other feed about this. We're not going to name her. No. We are just about to come off our 3-month ban. And we'd really like to get a taste of live streaming again. We miss it, so please don't get us.
Right, me too.
But if you guys go to our Twitter account at ROTC Media on Twitter, you might see something I might have retweeted that you will know what we're talking about. But this all started happening with there's a certain teacher who had some pretty unpleasant sentiments for white people. She's a white lady herself. She's a teacher in Louisiana.
Well, we don't know if she's white, right? She might be.
Well, how about
might
this?
Have some ancestry of something.
Yeah, we haven't done.
Might have some Ashkenazi ancestry. Who knows?
Well, hey, listen. If she's a teacher, so wouldn't put it past her. But yeah, she clearly appears to be. She's definitely doing the hello fellow white people sort of thing, where she's like, us white people need to fucking pay, and you're like, well, speak for yourself, lady. I want to survive here. What are you talking about? But she did have, she's one of these typical Antifa lefties. She was basically saying that white people are the only ones that can be racist. That old gag that people of color cannot be racist because of systematic oppression, something. So she drew the attention of people on the right who are, look, man, They're doxing people. Sorry, I gotta get that out of my system. But yeah, they started digging into this lady, and it wasn't hard to just type her name on Twitter and see a lot of posts from students.
Yes.
In her class that were very uncomfortable with things she said.
And they were quoting things that she was saying.
Right. And just to anyone any YouTube engineer who's watching this video is not meant to bully or harass anyone. We just want to talk about the ideology, the anti-white narrative that are in our schools nowadays. I mean, we've exposed several professors, and her whole premise, first of all, she gave a BS example of what she was trying to come across. But to her, I would ask, remember those Chicago teens that kidnapped that white kid and started throwing racial slurs at him and things like that? Would that not be racism? Would that just be like prejudice to her? Because that's what she's trying to say. I mean, if you look at Baltimore, where the majority of the city council is black, the institutions are mostly run by blacks, and a lot of these cops were actually black in some of these cases that these Black Lives Matter folks are marching for. Can you be racist in Baltimore? Can you be racist because they hold institutional power there? To her, you can't. And this is the standard Marxist and postmodernist rhetoric that comes out of most of these teachers' mouths. I mean, we just saw another high school teacher talk about the military and how they're the lowest of the low and all that stuff. So it's not the worst thing that we've heard, and we've heard college professors call for an all-out suicide amongst whites and mass genocide. But there's thousands and thousands of professors and teachers all across America who are saying these things to try and shame whites into white guilt, to prep them for the upcoming invasion, the invasion that's already taking place, so that their Marxist agenda, their communism can take hold eventually.
Yeah, it's sad because when you think of the indoctrination, a lot of people think that, it starts in college, and at least in high school you're okay. No, it's coming younger and younger. Right. And younger middle school age kids are now being told, write an anti-Trump thing and you'll get an extra credit. And it's like, wait a second. When I was younger, I remember no matter who the president was, it was up in the classroom. That wasn't something that was indoctrinated. You'll learn about it when you get older, politics, absolutely. But you're in my take, you're basically impressionable minds that haven't fully formed yet. You're ruining them. Mathematics. Yes. Reading, basic comprehension is what schools should be for, not to indoctrinate future voters.
Right. We posted on the, we started that Film Your Marxist Professor campaign. That page, the Facebook page, Film Your Marxist Professors, where students send us videos. We encourage them to send us video. Do you guys know about that campaign?
We played one of your videos.
Yes,
we
did.
We credited them and everything. You guys had the one the video where they spurged out over the test or something. They were upset from something the day before and they didn't want to take their test. Wasn't that you guys?
I think so, but we also exposed Albert. We were the first ones to expose that Albert Ponce guy nationally, who said that only whites can stand for the national anthem.
Yes.
He also, that guy. We were the first ones. Campus Reform picked it up from us. Fox News picked it up from us, quoted us, and all that stuff. But this is what I'm talking about. These are the things we're trying to find strategic ways to actually change the world, because just advocating for legislative solutions isn't going to cut it. We have to do things now that we can do as a people to change the world. And if we have thousands of students, we just started the Film Your Marxist Professors page, and we already had 10, 20 different videos and recordings sent to us. If we have thousands of students send us recordings, then the teachers will be more apt to maybe not spread their Marxist rhetoric in class, because they might be being filmed or being voice recorded by someone's phones. This is the reason why more and more of them are putting up signs outside of their classroom doors that say no filming allowed or you will be suspended. And what I tell these students is we will invert the video to make it look like it comes from the other side of the classroom, so that we're not only exposing your Marxist professors, but we're also framing other Marxist students. So we'll do everything we can to get those videos up and make sure that you're not exposed. But you're talking about younger and younger. Let's look at the Daily Wire article just from today. The ACLU wants your kindergartners to learn about gender issues. So the ACLU is fighting to have the comprehensive sex education standards implemented in California foisted upon school children in grades K through 12 all across the nation. This is the ACLU fighting for this, and on their website, Melissa Goodman, the director of the LGBTQ Gender and Reproductive Justice Project, is pushing for this.
They sound really fun to have a party with, don't they? Let's go hang out with them.
Also, to be fair, Vince, you missed like 4 letters. It's really expanded now. It's a
Oh,
lot.
I know. It's
lot
like
of groups in
Q by
there.
A, right? Square root of 12, right?
But yeah, no, you're right. And listen, I
don't understand why these people just can't be happy just playing with their dreidels and you know, lighting their candles. Like, why do they have to mix up in our issues? I don't get it.
I have to agree. I mean, I have friends, one of which I had a deep falling out with because he's a teacher, man. He is one of those teachers that's very influential on his kids, and he's a hardcore leftist. You know, he's one of these guys that, I mean, I've showed him pictures from even gay pride parades and things like that where, you know, you got this family on vacation in a small town in Vermont. They didn't know it was Gay Pride Week, and they're trying to go get frozen yogurt with their kids on Main Street, and people have their dicks out, and they're jerking each other off. And I'm like, trying to show him how culturally harmful this stuff is when you have kids, and it's, you know, Saturday afternoon at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And he's just okay with it. I'm astonished by how many completely indoctrinated teachers there are, and they go, well, I don't see the harm in it. And I'm like, you don't see the harm in showing sexually graphic or discussing sexually graphic things with kindergartners? That's astonishing to me.
I believe it's 98% of college professors are Democrats from what I was looking up. I believe that's the number. Which that says something to you, doesn't it? Doesn't that say that to me it says like, look, we accept one kind of thought here. That's it.
Look at how many Harvard professors are of Jewish descent. Now, it could be because, you know, their IQ, the Ashkenazi Jews' IQs are just a full deviation higher than whites. I mean, something like 50. No, it's even more. It's like 15 points higher than the average white person. So, I mean, you know, there's that, and that's the reason why they're in positions of power. But I'm just saying that you can look at the stuff that's being shoved down our children's throats. And yeah, you were talking about like sexually graphic images. There was this transgender that was invited to this school, and in front of 5- and 6-year-olds, this guy was dancing up on stage in a leotard that was halfway up his ass. You know, and these people don't see problems with it, but then they won't let their kids watch it because it's too violent. Or they won't let their kids watch like movies with guns in it because they don't want them to glorify guns. But then they don't see any harm in seeing these trannies and confusing them in gender. It all goes back to Marxism, is to confuse people on gender, to confuse people on a lot of things, to mix up all the races so that there's only one race with near identical biology, with near identical intelligence, so that the bourgeoisie, the white males, are eradicated from this country so that communism can take hold, because you can't really sell communism or socialism too easy to white males. We saw in the last election the demographics behind the last election. Overwhelmingly, whites vote more for the Republican side, whereas Hispanics, 80% of foreign-born Hispanics vote for leftists, big government policies. Blacks, 90 in the high 90s, vote for leftist, big government policies. So to get rid of the white male is to win. And that's why you see this Marxism, this postmodernist agenda going into schools, because that's the way that they're going to be able to subversively achieve communism, achieve their goals.
It's funny you mentioned that, because I'm Cuban and my family's Cuban, and Cubans are one of the very few Hispanics that statistically tend to vote conservative, because if you live in a socialist country, hell, like Cuba, and you float it over here on a door, you know, it's hard to sell socialism to a Cuban. It's very difficult.
Wet foot, dry foot was ended, right?
And that's my point. It was to take away, by last day in office, it was to take away more potential conservative votes in Florida and turn Florida into a blue state. And that's what that was. It wasn't anything else. It wasn't anything else political. It's just statistically, Cubans, when they come here and become citizens, tend to vote conservative because they just came from a socialist hellhole and they don't like it.
Right. Yeah, no, it's true. And that's the reason why during the 1965 Hart-Celler Act, the amount of Cubans flowing in here as immigrants was on a steep decline. You know, I just talked about this in one of the most recent videos I did called The War on Whites. And I talked about Ted Kennedy's. He was one of the major. A lot of people like to talk about Seller because he was Jewish, but Ted Kennedy, a fellow Irishman, hello, fellow Irishman. He was one of the main forces behind the 1965 Hart-Celler Act, and he promised a bunch of different things. As a matter of fact, I have one of his, just a part of his speech up here because I used it for the video. And this is what he says here. He says, out of deference to the critics, I wanted to comment on what the bill will not do. First, our cities will not be flooded with 1 million immigrants annually. Under the proposed bill, the present level of immigration will remain the same. Secondly, the ethnic mix of this country will not be upset. That's the major lie right there. At this time that this bill was passed, the country was about 85% white. Today, it's like 60%. So he said, secondly, the ethnic mix of this country will not be upset. Contrary to the charges in some quarters, the bill will not inundate America with immigrants from any one country or area. That's another lie. Just last year, 51% of the population increase came from Mexico. In the final analysis, the ethnic pattern of immigration under the proposed measure is not expected to change as sharply as some critics seem to think. He also goes on to say, the bill will not permit the entry of subversive persons, criminals, illiterates, or those with contagious disease. What did we see? Zika, first cases of Zika here ever, first cases of Ebola here ever. And then he goes on to say that I have mentioned the charges I've mentioned are highly emotional, irrational, and with little foundation. In fact, they are out of line with the obligations of responsible citizenship. They breed hate in our heritage. So they made the former immigration policy before the 1965 Hart-Celler Act, they called it racist. The left called it racist because we were putting caps on Mexico of like 20,000. You can only accept 20,000 from Mexico. It favored European immigration because those are the ones that are easier to assimilate into our society. You know, even Cubans too. Cubans can assimilate very easily. Brazilians can assimilate very easily. They love America when they come here. You can't sell socialism to them. And so, you know, they called it racist, just like with everything else. It's like a cultural war. You just call everything racist, and then whoever doesn't say that thing is racist as well, then all of a sudden they become suspects in the Cultural Revolution. It's just like what we see with Taylor Swift. She hasn't said anything bad about Trump, so people attack her. You know, so anyway.
Yeah, she is completely apolitical, and
right.
She's one of those that just wants to sell her fucking
when
records.
when they're calling apolitical people now, and you're a Nazi too. It's like, all right, you know, at some point, you're basically saying if you do not hate this person, you have to be a racist or a homophobe or everything. And I think that's. That's the main problem is when you start turning everyone that's against you into villain. We always say it on the show. When you're the person that makes somebody choose, they will never choose you. Right. And I really believe that that's what's happening. I believe that look what happened. Now you had a bunch of immigrants were even turning on the Democrats because the government opened back up. It's really, really simple to fool people when you're holding a carrot over their head, like, you know, for example, citizenship. You know, don't worry, we're here to fight for you. No, you're here because you want votes. You really don't care what happens to you because you're living in Washington, D.C., and it's not going to affect your life. And that's why it makes me sad to see, you know, Trump's first proposal, you know, would actually let 1.8 million illegal immigrants stay here legally, where DACA only let 700,000. And I think
790,000, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think Trump's making a mistake in that he's thinking that this is going to be, they're going to know I'm not racist. It doesn't matter. Even look at Mitt Romney now, the same Mitt Romney that they were saying, if he would have run, it would have been great. No, he wouldn't have. You guys called him the cleanest man on the planet. You called him Hitler. You said that he hates women. You know, you brought up a story because he put a dog on the roof once. You know, it was, it doesn't matter who they are. And I think that whole, no, we're reasonable. You're not reasonable. We were talking about this too. When Bush was president, there was that TV show, That's My Bush. And now there's that little cartoon Trump thing we were talking about that Colbert's doing. I don't ever remember anybody making That's My Obama cartoon. It's 100% set to mind wash people, and like we were talking about earlier, younger and younger, to where that when they grow up, they'll think anything that is right of center is evil and bad, and guys hanging out with their dick waving around kids, that's totally normal and fine.
Well, actually, anything right of Marx is where they're trying to go now.
Yeah, you're right. That's a really good point.
Yeah,
because
they won't even settle for centrists anymore. They're pushing more and more centrists. I know, right?
They are.
Yeah.
They're just like, all right, man. Look, I don't agree with you about everything, but we'll fight this together, man. Just don't touch my guns. Leave me the fuck alone. Stop telling me what to say.
That's the problem. I think that the PC movement didn't help them. When you're telling people this isn't funny because we say it's not funny, people start to rebel. It's really weird because we were talking about it before. It's like when I was younger, I remember the left being the edgy rebels. There were the guys saying things no one was saying, and all the, at least in people's eyes, all the conservatives were, church ladies that were writing to the FCC saying this is bad for my kids. But now it's turned to where I think the right has become the rebels, because you are literally telling people, oh no, these people are bad, they're all Nazis, they're this and that. And I know if I'm a kid, if I'm coming up and someone tells me don't look into something, I'm like, wait, what are these guys about? They're going against the culture. Oh, they're allowed to say things in a joking manner and not have their YouTube channel taken away?
No,
Right.
I have a question, because it's apparent to me that, in my opinion anyway, that I feel like we're lost. Like, I'm preparing for the worst future possible. But that being said, I like to have hope and maybe still fight for something.
Right.
Winning the culture war in general, obviously the Red Elephants are doing their part. You guys are exposing Marxist professors. You are constantly engaging in journalism, following up leads. We sort of do our own part over here. But advice to our listeners, what can they do to try to help, to try to patch up a little bit of the bleeding going on?
Well, I mean, probably I would assume that most of your listeners, or at least some of your listeners, are probably younger generation. They can help us by sending us these videos, by sending us these audio recordings. We're talking in the messages with a couple of other people who said that, I'm afraid to send you this video, and I'm just like, guy, just listen. I will make it look. I did it with this other video that this other lady sent me of this high school that invited 2 transgender college students to their classroom to teach them about gender identity. I made the video look like it was coming from the complete other side of the classroom, and I zoomed in so it looked like it was coming from 2 rows forward. So there's a lot of things that I can do with, certain technology to make it to you completely anonymous. You can send us these tips, these leads. You have a voice. You have platforms. Us. You can send us anything you want. You can send ROTC, anything you want. You can send any of these platforms, anything you want. Just message them.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing is that, like, some of these other media outlets, these right-wing media outlets, they do a good job exposing, talking about different things, like this Daily Wire article. I'm not a big fan of Ben Shapiro, but that guy's. I will never debate that guy in anything.
Smart man.
But he did this article about the ACLU going after your kindergartners, right? So that helps. But I think that we, as right wing, we need to do things that are more strategic moves. Like, for instance, a lot of these people on the alt-right, they think that we have to stop letting minorities have kids legislatively and encourage white people to have kids legislatively. And I'm like, that will never work. If you want the white birth rate to increase, you have to do things more strategically. You have to advocate for something like getting rid of welfare, or sharply decreasing the welfare policies, because those are things that even the conservatives, the mainstream conservatives, will get behind it and advocate for in mass protest with you. Now, what does that do? If we implement like credit checks on welfare or something, that would have an effect like that, I think that a lot of immigrants, illegal immigrants especially, would repatriate, because they come here for a better life. They leave their parents behind. They leave their mom. They leave, their wife, everything behind to come here to have a better life. And if they cannot get ahead by sucking on the government's teat for 6 years or 10 years or whatever the case may be until they finally do integrate, then they will repatriate themselves, because they'll find out that they're struggling here in a different country with their family back home, and they'll just say, screw it, I'll go struggle back home. The welfare policies, that's another thing that happened in 1965 that completely decimated the black community. This is the reason why it boggles my mind that blacks vote Democrat. because we're further away from slavery, Jim Crow, and segregation now than we ever were. But yet the black community, the black economic outlook is far worse than it was back in 1965. In 1965, the black poverty rate was only 6%. Today it's 27%. Only 29% of black children were in fatherless homes. Today it's 72%, almost 3/4 of all black children are born into fatherless homes. You go into a black community, they don't own any of the businesses. You go into a Mexican community, they do. So the Democrats are putting Hispanics before these black Americans, and their economic outlook is far better than black Americans. They earn higher average median household incomes than black Americans, and yet black Americans are voting for policies to bring more immigrants in to take over and undercut their wages. So there's so many things that we can do. I think welfare would be one of the biggest things, and tax incentives to stay together for parents. There's a lot of legislative solutions we could advocate for that are more strategic than your edgelord, sort of things that you want to say.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the alt-right too, and as far as obviously there are some things they say and do that are a bit cringy and also unsustainable. How do you feel about, as far as PR goes, things that are being done by groups like, let's say, Identity Europa, who have been out there, giving out Christmas cards with money in it to homeless guys, and they've been doing banner drops, but the banner drops aren't swastikas and edgelord and not Pepe memes. They're doing, danger sanctuary city ahead, and you're like, even if you're on the the fence about it, you're driving and you're like, yeah, wow, that's a high number. Like, what I mean? Yeah. They're throwing a fact in your face and then but they're not. They're dressing nicely. They're not all, LARPing, as is a good term to be used. Do you think that maybe efforts should be done to ramp up behavior like this? Because I don't see enough of it as far as charity work, being involved in your community, getting people off drugs, because nationalists in the 70s did that. Black and white nationalists both gave out school lunches to poor kids in their community. You didn't have this welfare state. You had people going, make sure that kid's got a clean pair of shoes and a sandwich when he goes to school. And there's just not enough of that, in my opinion.
Right. And it was a very dark taboo for a woman to not be married with her husband in the 50s and 60s.
Oh, yeah.
And if she had a kid, you would get frowned upon. You would get shunned in a sociological manner. I mean, it was just the thought process of society back then was completely different than it is today. And obviously we blame a lot of media. If you watch commercials, you watch movies, you'll notice that they make the father kind of like the dumb, dopey guy and the mother like the smart person. And then these court systems are always, there's just a lot of things that are going against men these days. And I think that's why there's a lot of nihilism popping up. But yes, as far as the alt-right goes, I think that they should be more like Identity Europa. I think that they should be more doing things that they are doing instead of, throwing up Hitler salutes and carrying Nazi flags all over the place, which to me is just the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen.
It's really bad optics.
I don't care about the optics. You're just a fucking dumbass. If you want to come up with your own flag. I mean, this is not Germany. I mean,
that's a really good point. It's not.
That's socialism. That's German socialism. That's not American national socialism. Come up with your own flag. Make your own flag. Why are you LARPing with some other country's flag
or how
from
about
1945?
Or how about this? I have a crazy idea, and I'm just, I'm thinking outside the box here. How about a fucking American flag? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? It is still our country, right? Are we still not proud of this place?
Right, or you can have like an American flag with your... I mean, there's groups here that are called the German Workers' Party, and they're all fucking American.
No, it's true. It's a little
it's ridiculous.
It's a little odd.
Why don't you have if you want to make a flag, I thought about this before. I think about all sorts of things. If you just have like an American flag, maybe with like your own emblem that's like the American National Socialist Party or American Workers' Party or something, make your own emblems up. Don't LARP with Nazi flags that aren't even your country, that have nothing to do with your movement. I mean, it kind of does, but it's different. It's a different country and a different time too. I mean, why are we using that emblem? I mean, they're just trying to get. They're edgelords. Most of these guys that are carrying around straight up Nazi flags, walking down the street in these rallies. They're just trying to get a reaction. That's all.
You're right. It's like walking down with a Lannister flag. It's like, I get it, but it's not real. it's not something that would work today, because even if you think, oh, the Nazis, they knew it all, it's a completely socio-economic different situation. So it's not compatible in so many ways.
Well, and it just hurts the movement. I mean,
Of course.
there's so much shit to just be done, and nobody actually wants to, roll up their sleeves and do any work, like, again, a la IE, who do things that are high profile and look good. And again, going back to the charity thing, I mean, do shit like that. You would make the movement look a lot better if you got arrested for feeding a homeless guy than you do if you get arrested for, macing somebody or throwing a punch at a rally where nobody, it's just, to me, it looks better when the TV goes, oh, did you see, these supposed neo-Nazis were feeding homeless guys at a bus station. They were arrested. I want to see shit like that. It would really help.
Yeah, so someone was handing out a card to a homeless guy in IE. Is that what happened? Yeah. I didn't even know about that.
This was, and it wasn't, again, it was something I didn't see like from IE's a thing. It was somebody else tweeted it, but yeah, I guess they were giving out little cards with like a couple bucks in it around Christmas, like before Christmas time, in some cold shithole of a city, and they were just being nice, and just doing little. Again, they weren't out there fucking handing out turkeys like Nino Brown in New Jack City.
Right.
But, hey, go get a soda and a sandwich. Like, things like that. Just these little things that somebody took a picture of it and was like, oh, that's weird. And it was up on Twitter in a little bit. And people were like, yeah, I guess these Identity Europa guys are handing out Christmas cards and feeding people.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, that's great.
They're very smart, those guys. And I know I've talked with Nathan a few times. Had an interview with them on camera some other time, and I think they're really smart. I think that I don't care if they want to feed the homeless or not. I mean, most homeless people are homeless because they're on drugs, and they'll probably just use the money for drugs. But I think things like banner drops and things like that are more attractive to our younger generation, who might look at that and say like, yeah, that sounds sweet, like dressing up in black all at night and like going and like posting up, like Sabo, Sabo, who does the stuff in Hollywood. He puts up the posters about, that guy. Like that sounds intriguing to me. Like I would want to do that. And then I remember that I have kids and I'm too, yeah. But I mean, it sounds intriguing to me. I think that would be intriguing to the younger generation, and it's effective. It's very effective. And we saw Identity. Some European country, I can't remember, we wrote about it, who stenciled on with spray paint on the anti-terror barriers in, I forget which country it was, but they had these whole row of anti-terror barriers, these cement barriers, and they stenciled on is diversity strength with a question mark.
Ooh, wow, I like that a lot.
These terror barriers, so, that shit's effective. That makes you think, like,
and just to
people are just passing these things.
Just to clarify, Vince, those you're referring to barriers of peace is what we call them on the show.
Right, barriers of peace.
Yeah,
right,
barriers
right.
of peace.
Yes.
Trademark.
Right. Love barriers.
Yeah. And something else that even locally that people could do, like our friends at Connecting Right Radio, they had this whole article written about them that they were these hate speech filled people. There's these AM radio guys who happen to be conservatives, and instead of firing back at the guy who wrote this hit piece on them, they raised I don't know how much money for a
domestic violence
shelter. And then the guy had to write a retraction, and the same paper had to go, hey, these guys raised a lot of money. And I think things like that make it look more like we're organized, because the one thing that we don't, and I don't know if you believe in the horseshoe theory or not, but if you let things,
not really,
because I don't want it to be true, but I don't want it to happen. You know what I mean? I don't want, just like you're saying, I don't want people out there LARPing in the same way Antifa's LARPing and just, going out there looking for a fight, regardless of what side it is, because whoever starts that fight is the one that's going to look bad.
Yeah. Right. I like the shirts with the torches and the, you know what I mean? And keep
that was cool. That looked really nice until they started chanting something
blood
other
and soil,
than,
and stuff like that. Then you're all right, guys, come on, we had a good thing going here.
They were chanting, "You will not replace us," right?
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Just chant that. That's completely fine, because then it, carry banners that say like, this professor, or like a quote from a professor. This professor said, "All I want for Christmas is white genocide," and then put his name under there. I think his name was George Ciccarello Maher from the University of Drexel, which he got fired from, or he had to resign from because of the internet backlash. So they didn't even fire him for saying that. And then he got rehired. Now he's at New York University. So yeah, just put like quotes like that on a banner. Like that shit will red pill the shit out of people.
Well, and that's why it was, when 8chan was working on the "It's Okay to Be White" thing for a couple weeks, people had instructions all over the country. Don't get creative. Don't take artistic license.
Right.
Don't change the font. Don't change the words. Don't add pictures. You take this thing, you print it, and you put it up. And it was because when you have a well-engineered, operation like that, it can do a lot of good. Because I think "It's Okay to Be White" was probably the home run hit of the year, in my opinion, as far as
that was funny.
A good op. It made everybody freak out.
Yep.
And when you had the mainstream media referring to them as neo-Nazi flyers, it was like, yes, this is the point we're
that's
trying
exactly
to
what they
make.
wanted.
Because the statement, the wording of it, it was also perfectly like, yeah, it's okay to be white. What do you mean it's okay to be white? It created a dialogue that needed to be had. And again, it didn't involve any LARPing. There was no Pepe with a swastika on him. It was perfect. It was perfect.
I think more people like Jordan Peterson, because this is, or I'm sorry, not Jordan Peterson. Well, Jordan Peterson's cool too, but Jared Taylor, we interviewed him on the channel. We talked about race and IQ and all these different things and crime. And like more people like him, I think, in the movement who speak very calmly, very eloquently, they're very sharp, who explain these things to red pill people on. Because the only reason why this whole race realism thing is popular now is because of all the attacks on white people that we see. So the race realism, this popularity rise in race realism came as a reaction to all of the attacks on white people. So these people are trying to say, no, it's not because, we're oppressors or we have like white privilege. It's because of this, it's because of these biological differences between the races, Asians being higher than whites on the IQ scale. That's the reason why they're better at math, things like that. I think people like him, he got banned off of Twitter, unfortunately. He didn't even say anything. He just posted charts and graphs and things like that. And I think that people like him have an effect as well as like the IE's strategy.
Yeah, and you mentioned Jordan Peterson. Did you see him absolutely just break that Kathy from Channel 4?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I felt very
There's so many memes created from that, and there's still videos being created.
Yeah, it was. I've never seen. Well, we described it as it's like when in those old like sci-fi movies when you give a robot a paradox and it's going to explode. That's what she was just sitting there, unable to speak. And I agree. The more well-reasoned people, the better, well-spoken people out there that could present something factually based, like you said, and going back to what we're talking about, without the LARPing and the Pepe and all that. If you could just go, look, these are facts. These are facts, and these are the conclusions you could come to with these facts. It absolutely helps a movement more than screaming in somebody's face and telling them, get out of here, go back to your country, because that's not helping.
Right, or calling people the N-word.
Yep.
I've seen people do that right in front of me, just like, you, like,
yeah,
like what, like, okay, fine. I don't have a problem that you think that way.
Yeah.
I have zero issue with that, but it and I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, optics, you cuck. It matters. It matters. That's the reason. What are you going to try and do? You're going to try and disband 200 years of insurgent history and how it's worked over the past, people changing governments. I mean, we're talking about 200 years of the way that it's been done. And the way that it's been done is the way that we're doing it. It's the way that IE's doing it. It's the way that these people are doing it. You can't just all of a sudden try to change 200 years of evolution of insurgent history and how they've done these things. You can't. It's not going to work.
Boy, are they trying, though, huh? And they are trying hard. I mean, you could just watch the Grammys, and a few years Jay-Z, he's a feminist now. Have you seen the same Jay-Z that used to sell crack to kids and rapped about it and punch women in the face?
I just did a video on that.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off.
No,
there.
go for it.
It's funny that you mentioned that. I did a video of Van Jones, just him saying Jay-Z is a better example for this country than Donald Trump. Him saying that in a video. and I put them side by side with Jay-Z punching a woman in the face.
Yep.
Then Van Jones said it again. Then Jay-Z saying, "Oh, I want bitches and hoes and money," and then he said it. The video's going viral now. I mean, it's just so stupid how people can even think that CNN would be a great outlet for news, but it is. I go on these business trips, and in every hotel
and
in every
airport,
restaurant, any airport, CNN is on the TV.
It's true, and man, I tell you, man, CNN has these. I found out about this. CNN has these contracts with airports, like Atlanta's one of them, for example, but a bunch of airports, and that actually boosts their ratings. It makes it seem like there's more people watching it because they have these contracts with these different places. So if you go to in Atlanta, you go to the airport, all the TVs are only CNN all the time because they have a contract with them, and that's all. And it's this artificial boosting of numbers, so people think that they're watching them. But even still, even with all that, I think CNN is more embarrassing than MSNBC because at least MSNBC is upfront with what they are. At least they're like, hey, we're fucking loony. We're fucking these loony Democrats. But CNN is still towing that line that, no, we're objective. We're the news. Are you? Are you really?
Right.
I mean, does it not bring you a little bit of joy, Vince, though, to know that deep down a lot of money has just been set on fire on their side of things? Like, they burned so much money in the last 2 years. And now they're even burning money burying, just paying to have channels buried on YouTube. Hint, hint, Red Elephant, and things like that. And it's just the amount of wasted energy and money, and their whole entire system, in my opinion, is starting to fail and fall on itself. It's got to bring you a little bit of warmth at night, right?
Yeah, I think so. And, I don't, not to say that I like any media. I mean, I'm not too fond of Fox News either. I mean, I like Tucker. He seems to be our guy now more and more.
Yeah, except that he always looks like he's looking into the sun.
He does, but he's kind of like fun. He's a funny, kind of quirky guy. I'm kind of like tired of Hannity. I don't really. They need to get rid of all the old guys.
Yeah, Hannity is still that pandering to boomers kind of guy where it's all like rock, flag, and eagle. Israel's our greatest ally. I'm like, all right.
I knew Hannity was irrelevant the moment I realized how many of his current viewers actually owned Keurig coffee makers and were throwing them out. I was like, if you have anybody that listens to your show that makes coffee in the little pods, they're fucking boomers. Nobody else is fascinated by that gadget.
Sorry, we have one of those fucking machines.
Why would you have that machine? You brew a whole...
Because my wife, listen, women make 80% of the consumer decisions in households across America.
I agree.
There's a reason for that. It's because the men are just like,
whatever.
So are you saying, this is an exclusive, folks, okay? We are breaking news live on the air. Vince from the Red Elephants, are you coming out and saying, sir, that you did not stand with Hannity? You did not, in fact, stand with Hannity and throw your Keurig coffee maker out? I want to hear it, sir.
I didn't, but what I did do is I wrote about it, and he retweeted our article.
Well, there you go.
Well, you know what? I gotta say, I am brokenhearted. You guys
Would
heard
you say
it
you're
today.
crestfallen?
We have exposed the Red Elephants.
Gotcha.
They are leftist infiltrators who refuse to throw out their little coffee pods, and I for one am crestfallen.
Oh man.
Well, we made
a
it
new one out. I think I might get it's It makes like not just coffee, it makes a few other things, which I like. I like to have I like to be bougie with my coffee sometimes, except for like the gay shit where it's like you go into a Starbucks and you have a man bun and skinny jeans and you're ordering like a caramel mappuccino frappiato or whatever the fuck they're called. I like to have I drink my coffee black, so I don't get into like the sugar or cream or stuff like that. But there's a new machine out there that actually looks better than the Keurig, but it's like $100 more. So I'm gonna wait until that comes down, maybe get that. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully I don't have to throw it out the window.
You see that? He doesn't even like colors mixing in his coffee.
He doesn't.
He does not fuck around, this man. He likes his coffee and his cream set.
My man.
He's like, yeah, I like to drink my coffee black, but then I take a shot of creamer. What? They got to be separate but equal. We made it almost pretty much to the end.
Yeah, man.
We got to give you the last word and give you a chance to shill. We're allowed to say the last word because you're never coming back, Bill O'Reilly. What do you want to plug besides the Red Elephants? You guys are going to be taking like 2.5 months off now from live streaming.
Forced?
Yeah. April 17th is the next time that we can live stream.
Oh, we're just about to get off of ours in a few weeks.
We have 3 weeks left. Dude, it's rough, man. It's one of those things. It's like a jail sentence. You go and like the first month kind of flies by, but then you get to that middle stretch and you're like, God damn, I'm really up in this bitch. But the red elephants.
I'm gonna put a disclaimer on, like, Facebook flies by. The Facebook bans, they fly by because I don't really use I just use my Facebook to look at news anyway. I don't really use my phone to post shit. So, yeah, another 30-day ban, of course. So on Facebook, but yeah, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We're all getting attacked from all different sides. We must be doing something right. But as far as like plugging something, yeah, I mean, just check out the Red Elephants on YouTube, Red Elephants on Facebook, and Film Your Marxist Professors on Facebook. That page is probably the most important. And hope if you know a student or someone who goes to college, someone who goes to high school, direct them to like that page, the Film Your Marxist Professors Facebook page, and tell them to send us videos and pictures of their curriculum or whatever the case may be.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, we will, and we're good about, for all you late bloomers that like to watch later on YouTube, we will upload, in the description, we'll have all the links. Vince, thank you so much for coming on, man. I know you're in demand. I know a lot of people, he's constantly getting people to beg to be on his stream.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us today, and yeah, we really appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks, man. Love to have you back on.
Problem.
All right.
Yeah, talk to you guys soon.
Take care. He was great.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. No, he's a great guy. I've been wanting to get him on forever, but he's literally like, when you talking like the community of people that are always doing these streams and having discussions online, like it's constant. Like, I'm trying to get Vince from the Red Elephants because he's like the dude. Look at him. He's fucking confident. He didn't have any fucking Skype issues.
I love those shirts.
That's like a guy that like you vote in your crew to be like, you do all the the live via satellite shit because you're not going to have a Hank U moment where screen's turning red. And
Speaking of, there's huge fan demand.
There is demand to bring back Hank U. I know. I'm working on it.
We'll work on it. Don't worry.
Right now, I'm working on fucking Nick Fuentes. We can work about Hank U later.
Hank you later, all right?
Yeah, we'll get him back on. Don't worry. We'll hank the shit out of him.
It's time to a shilly shill show, my friend.
Yes, of course. Again, check out our awesome guest. It's at Real Red Elephant, not pluralized, on Twitter, and then the Red Elephants on YouTube. Vince for joining us today, and let's shill our own stuff.
Yes,
give us money, god damn it. Patreon.com/We're Not Sorry. Sign up this month. Okay, get in before our live show on the 16th. On the 16th, we're going to be back live, baby, on a Friday night.
Can't
wait. We're going to be giving away all kinds of shit. If you're a $12 or month or more patron, we will enter you to win. We got Trump slippers, shirts, mugs, all kinds of cool, goofy shit. And we have PayPal.me/We're Not Sorry. If you want to give us money one time, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about us, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you mañana.